Hello there. You have stumbled upon the Terribly Vexed Podcast. The fellas have been expecting you. Please prepare to have your mind blown squarely out of your ass. Be sure to set your motherfucker to receive. Enjoy the show.
Welcome back to the Terribly Vexed Podcast with me, Justin, and...
I didn't like that one.
I thought I did pretty good.
It's okay. It's okay.
Not enough. Need more energy or less energy?
Maybe just a scooch more. I don't know. We'll try this.
Okay, go.
Welcome back to the Terribly Vexed Podcast. We're your hosts, Justin Perleone and me, Josh Branson.
We're here. Josh, how the hell are you?
I'm all right, man. How are you?
I'm okay. What's been going on with you lately? It's been a while since we podcasted.
Yeah, I want to apologize to our listeners. We're always talking about trying to get a little plan together and stay on a regular sort of schedule, but that never seems to happen.
It's a constant battle.
Yeah. And we're sorry. But I've had a dog, and it's gotten some leg cancer. And that's been a bit of a bummer, so that's what I've been dealing with the past couple of months.
It's been an ongoing saga.
But he's here now, and he's okay.
And that's all that matters,
As
really.
okay as he can be, all things considered. Going through chemo right now, so.
Yeah. You don't want to get into any more than that?
No, I don't.
I don't blame you.
I think it was the CIA that did it.
Yeah, well, fair enough. But
Sons of bitches.
I think we should just get right into this one.
Okay.
We've got an extra doozy of an episode today.
Not really an interview.
No.
More of a roundtable
Yep.
discussion.
About God knows what. It's who knows where this is going to end up.
Yeah.
And I can't wait. With us today are two fellas.
Old friends.
Yep. It's been a while, though, since we've talked, really. What's it been? 10 years?
Maybe more.
I blame COVID. But we got...
Pandemic.
Yeah. We got Jeff Maynard.
That's me.
And Nathan Tipton.
That's me.
Welcome, guys.
Welcome.
Thank you
So
for
good to
taking
be
time. That's
So-
Jack.
And
Guess you're-
there he is. He is alive and well.
Yes, he's right here behind me. Thank you guys for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us on the podcast.
Love to be here.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Fantastic.
You guys, you sound it.
Oh yeah,
You sound it.
having a good time.
Good.
already.
Good. Well, right off the gates, I took some little notes here. I have some questions for you.
Okay.
I got one. I just want to jump right into it right off the gate. Why do you guys love this podcast so much? Go.
I love the candid nature of the discussions.
All right. That's a fake question. You don't really have to answer that.
Well, that's a real answer
Well,
to a
thank
fake
you.
question.
Thank
A little warm up there for you.
Yeah.
Just a little warm up.
Yeah.
I bet he's got a good answer for that.
Okay. Nathan?
I like hearing Josh go off about stuff.
Well, this is my venue,
Yeah,
my avenue for doing that sort of thing. But
You're good at that.
yeah, I try to keep it together here, though. I don't want to say anything that's, too bad, too incriminating.
Yeah. But the good thing about it is if they do cancel us, I mean, what are they going to do?
I have nothing.
We got nothing to cancel.
Right.
So,
I like the dynamic too because
Very poor.
sometimes Josh is like really excited about something and Justin's like, nah, yeah,
yeah, that does happen.
it's a good
sometimes.
dynamic.
Even keel.
Yeah,
It's when Josh knows more than me about a certain topic. I kind of zone out. Like,
Anything having to do with the government?
yeah. Quote, we've been through this, quote, real things.
Right, the real
Factual things
But,
that actually happen.
it's- Yeah, but it's not always, I don't always have all the facts
Yeah,
or all the information.
that's
so,
true.
But that's what I spend most of my time reading. So
Yeah.
Justin's more of the aliens.
Yeah.
Would start with aliens
Well, I think we should always start with Bigfoot.
and Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Jeff, Bigfoot, go.
I don't see it.
No?
You don't see
No.
it happening at all.
I don't think so.
Why do you say that?
Well, I've never been proven otherwise. And outside of you guys, usually the people that bring it up are, they don't seem like the most...
Quacks?
Yeah, they don't seem the most reputable of folk.
I know what you mean. I
Did
know what
you
you
run
mean.
into someone recently that
Yeah,
was talking about that?
Yeah, went to a neighbor's house of somebody that I was going to visit,
Yeah.
and there were some folks in there. They were older folks. They'd been around. they've seen some things. And this gentleman, I just met him, and he asked me something about myself, and then he told me something about himself that related, and then he just out of nowhere said, "But don't get me started on Bigfoot."
No, please
Just
get
out of
started.
nowhere.
By all means, sir.
Yeah.
Get started.
Yeah. So he heard a big squeal. He lives on some land where there's like trees and acreage in the back,
Yeah.
and he heard some kind of squeal that was just wasn't right. And
Is he an outdoorsman himself?
he seemed real son of the soil,
I got you.
you know. So he he said, "Never since I've been chasing Bigfoot."
Wow. Where was this at?
It was in the Maryville area.
It was right around here.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know. Okay.
We weren't at the house he was referring to.
Oh.
I think it's called the skunk ape in this area.
Is it?
Yep.
I've got some skunks at my house. No skunk apes. So.
Well,
I think that's what it's called locally. I'm not sure. I've heard that.
I've never heard
think
that.
that-
I've
I
seen
think-
that.
that's a theory about what it could be.
A skunk ape.
A skunk ape. Good Lord.
So is that a hybrid skunk and ape?
You would think so.
Because are apes natural to this area?
No, I don't think so.
Skunks are.
Indigenous.
Skunk, yeah.
Indigenous, yes. That's the word I was.
We need to
looking
get Kevin back for that one, I guess.
Yeah. Which that kind of annoyed me. Did you guys listen to that episode, by the way, at all? By any chance? Kevin Hunt?
Was that the guy that, was he, works at the zoo or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I listened to that one.
Yeah, we had him on. Asked him about Bigfoot, and he said,
Nope.
"No, it's a load of shit." Well, then get the hell out of here. We don't want you. What's he doing over there?
He's flipping out for some reason.
Yeah, he wants to get involved.
He's got something to say.
Yeah. Oh well, just
Maybe
keep your
he
hand
knows
on him.
something that
keep
we
your
don't.
hand on him, and then
I will do that.
you don't have to. I was just joking.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
See if that helps.
Are you guys familiar with Coyote Peterson?
Is that a person?
Yep.
No.
He's like he was like the first or one of the first YouTube crocodile hunter Steve Irwin dudes, but now he's like all big and famous. But posted on Instagram, he found some Bigfoot, a skull of an
Whatever.
ape.
Came of that anyway.
Nothing. I think it was fake.
Lying bastard.
Yeah, but it looked real. It looked so real, and I was so excited. And then he even played it up like it was real.
Yeah, he posted on social media, right?
Yeah, maybe it's being authenticated.
What do you think?
What a
3D printed skull?
Maybe people are saying it was from I buy skulls or whatever.com, like whatever those websites that have the fake skulls.
Oh yeah, I go there.
Yeah. Whatever it
Big
was, but
skulls.
but that's
It was
people
an
on the-
actual skull, but he just...
I mean, it looked like a.
You lose all credibility when you do shit like that.
Yep.
I don't give a shit what that motherfucker says, huh?
That's true. Was it like a one strike policy?
That's not what we're trying to do here. I'll tell you right now.
That's true.
Folks.
That's true.
Anyway, I know you guys appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So Jack has left me now, so I'm going to come back over to the
Okay,
table.
good.
Sorry about that.
Good.
My attention was somewhat diverted. I think he's calming down. Thank God. Okay.
What do you think
Sorry.
about
Atlantis. Jeff, go.
Oh, Atlantis. Go ahead. Quick.
I'm sorry, man. I have no thoughts on that.
You're not familiar with the work of Graham Hancock?
This is Josh's wheelhouse.
I'm Josh.
Is it Graham Hancock? No.
Nope.
I've heard of.
Okay, Nathan, go.
I have not heard of Graham.
Okay,
Hancock.
Justin, go.
Oh, I've heard of him.
Okay.
Yeah. Fingerprints of the Gods.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now I did play that old PC game, Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis.
Close enough.
What happened there? Did you beat it?
I think so.
Did you find Atlantis?
Oh yeah.
Is it everything it's cracked up to be?
Yeah, and more.
Yeah.
Do you think there was a lost civilization in our distant past? We'll say that. You don't have to really know the work of Graham Hancock to, just sort of theorize on what we've, like if our own history is sort of just a bunch of fucking lies,
Uh-huh.
You think that's possible?
I think it's possible.
Good. That's all I
Is
got.
that's all you needed?
I do too.
And that's the
There's
end of this
a-
episode. We'll see you next week.
It's been a blast.
Just kidding. Thanks, Jeff, for coming out.
Yeah,
Are you familiar with Robert Seffer? He's an anthropologist.
No.
He's got a lot of stuff on YouTube. He's written a lot of books. He's got some good videos on Atlantis.
that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And
check it out.
what's the guy's name? Something Carlson. He's always done some stuff with Graham Hancock. In fact, his last book was with him. What was his name?
I don't know. I'm sorry, I can't help you.
Oh, I look at you hoping you'll know, and you don't.
Only Carlson I know is Magnus Carlson. Anybody?
Mm-mm.
No.
Chess Grandmaster?
Yeah, I'm familiar with.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Shit. Anyway, he's done a whole bunch of podcasts on the subject. And he's not really, he's an enthusiast, I think, for like geology and stuff like that. He's not a geologist, but he's specializes in rocks. And there's a lot of stuff there. That's where it's all in the deets. It's all right there. That's where they go digging.
Did you hear about this floor they found in Rome? It's like a mosaic, like a tile floor, just recently. And it's like it's under 2 feet of dirt. What are they doing? How'd they not find that already?
Yeah.
It was covered with earth.
I don't understand that stuff. I
I guess someone never swept there, you know?
Yeah.
Just let it get
For
filthy.
2,000 years, that's what happens, I guess.
That's why we're here.
Yeah. But it looks beautiful.
All right, so we won't talk about Atlantis today. That's okay.
What about that whole theory though of that there were past civilizations, asteroid, comet probably hit Earth, destroyed it,
Somewhere.
and we're back here. Now we're all just talking about it.
There was sort of a resetting, you
Yeah.
know? I think Graham Hancock likes to say a species with amnesia. So we've kind of forgotten this, epoch of our past.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And we were sort of reset. Any thoughts? Any ideas?
Wasn't that the flood? If you want to look at it from a
Would have
biblical
been-
Could be.
standpoint.
Right about the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of where because all of the great civilizations of the past have a flood theory. They all have a flood story, myth, legend, So at some point, did somebody see something? And then this was a retelling for thousands of years, until we
Yeah.
get to our recent, shitty past.
And where did all that water come from?
Or I guess it would have been like the meteor hitting the glaciers of North America, perhaps. I think that's kind of where they theorize it possibly hit, somewhere up in that region.
You don't think it was the waters above the firmament?
Oh.
Here we go.
I've just heard people talk about that.
Oh, shit.
I can't confirm or deny.
Yeah.
What is that?
None of us
Explain
can.
to the folk. I mean, I know what that is, but nobody else here does. So explain what that means.
So I wouldn't say that. Well, I guess I would say this is a flat Earth idea, which I'm not really into. But the idea that we live on a flat Earth, or we live within an ecosystem that has a firmament, which is basically it's like the dome glass,
It's like a snow globe.
ceiling to our reality, and that the flood came from above. So there is water above the firmament, and outer space doesn't exist.
Huh.
Which is why if you look at planets with a telephoto lens, it looks like they're underwater. Have you ever seen that?
I have not.
It's interesting. I think it either looks like it's underwater, or it looks like there's like an electronic pulse kind of just going around it. But it looks very similar to something if you looked at from above water and there's just like ripples going over it, which is interesting because it doesn't seem like that's what planets would look like from space, if space is a vacuum,
Right.
or what planets would look like from here,
Yeah.
at least.
So that they say that's like radiation or whatever that they're just picking up with all their stuff.
It could be all kinds of shit. I don't know, but
Yeah.
it's when you look at it, it's plausible that you're looking at it through water. I mean, like, well, kind of looks like water.
Yeah.
I don't know. And like, have you seen when when Elon shoots the rockets up, how people are like, up, hit the firmament,
I've never
Doink.
heard that.
or like
Is
people
that-
send rockets up to prove that the Earth is flat, right, with a GoPro, and then they just stop randomly, just like very abruptly stop,
Hitting the firmament.
hitting the firmament. If that's what it is, I don't know.
I don't think I'm
I've
going to be able to speak intelligently on this.
Never heard that in my life,
I haven't either.
It's interesting.
but I like it.
But that's what we're doing here today. We're just learning, fellas.
So that's a
We're
flat
just
Earth
learning from
theory.
each other.
It is a flat Earth thing.
Okay.
I could get behind the flat Earth thing if the people that were so adamant about it weren't such dicks. You know, they're kind of like atheists, and there's nothing against if anyone here is an atheist. Most atheists, I feel like, they kind of have bad attitudes.
Kind of sour pusses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the flat Earth people are the same. I've never heard someone that is adamant that the Earth is round be like, "Hey, the Earth's round, fucking moron," and like maybe in a conversation or in a debate.
Yeah.
But not to the point where it's like they just stand outside holding a sign up. Hey, guess what, everyone? Fucking Earth's round, you know? And they like wear it on their shirt and shit.
Right.
You know,
They're a little-
but
little
I think flat
pushy.
Earth people are like that, and it's kind of annoying.
A little pushy.
Yeah.
A little pushy.
That's why I'm not a big fan of the atheists. Like I don't
Yeah,
believe
me
in
too.
God myself, but I hate the
A bad attitude, you know?
yeah
Mm-hmm.
the actions
Chip on the shoulder.
exactly. They're assholes.
Yeah, the majority of them that I have met don't seem to be very pleasant people or happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're not.
So
If there's nothing to live for, then yeah, I guess I could see why you wouldn't be. very
yeah, I
happy
mean, I
about
guess you're kind of removing some of the, point of your existence.
it. Yeah,
There's a whole facet there to your whole life that I guess you're not feel as if they're not really seeing,
yeah,
not absorbing, not appreciating.
shouldn't they appreciate
Something beyond
appreciate it more? Like the fact you're here, like the odds
Exactly.
of it happening, it's that much more.
yeah. The action
Precious
to
or
philosophy
whatever.
is askew. I feel like
Yeah.
if that's what you believe, you should be a complete hedonist. Just live every day like it will be your last, because it could.
Yeah.
And if you believe that there's nothing after that, I would definitely be living it up. You know.
What would you be doing?
I don't know, man. Probably not what I guess some people consider living it up. I don't think I'd be drinking and partying and doing a lot of drugs. I think I'd be trying to experience as much as I possibly could in this reality or in life, you know,
Yeah.
consciously, not
Right.
Well,
sluggishly.
you kind of do that now.
Huh?
You're doing that now. I mean,
Well, yeah. But I mean, I just feel like that's a good way to live life in general, because you could die.
yeah.
So would you just up
And
it?
because I don't know what, I feel like I know what happens when I die, but I don't.
That's also a good reason to avoid social media. If you
That's
want to
a
live your
perfect
life
reason.
and live in the now and experience things for
Yeah.
what they are and feel good,
Yeah.
just stay off of that. There's nothing good there.
Yeah.
You're
For the
not
most
on
part, I agree.
any social media?
I have accounts on there, but
You don't engage often.
I don't scroll through. I'll post. If I make something, if I make an album or something, I'll post it on there because there are some people that I know that maybe I worked with in the past that I think would enjoy listening to it. It's free for them to listen to, so I don't feel like I'm exploiting anything. But if everybody used it for that sort of communication, I wouldn't feel the way I do about it.
But it's got a more nefarious purpose, I think, right?
That's a big boy howdy. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Its main purpose is to create divisiveness,
Yeah.
and everybody gets into their
And,
little corner.
but that's the thing. It probably wasn't intended for that.
Oh, but it was.
I don't know. I don't
Oh,
think
yes.
I believe that.
See,
But to what end? Why would somebody create something like that and want to divide everyone?
Divide and
what's the-
conquer.
Now we're getting into
But
it.
conquer what? Like I've never understood.
Divide and conquer.
I say, why did somebody do that? Why would somebody do that? And then the answer is they want the power. But for what? What to do? What?
Well, shit, man.
Like what's the point?
I'm
It's
kind of on your side about that. I don't really understand. Like the whole thing about them using social media to get our information. I don't give a fuck. Take it. What are you gonna do with it?
it's not the right attitude to have, Justin.
I assumed everybody was listening the minute I got a smartphone.
Yep.
And
Of course.
they put Alexas in the house, They're like, that thing's listening to you. I'm like, well, I feel bad for the guy listening to me talk to my cats and shit. Oh, you want some food, sweet kitty?
That fucking yellow jacket.
Okay.
You mash that. Thank you.
Oh, you got him.
Oh God. Now it's a piss. We had a yellow jacket run amok. And did you get him?
I don't think so.
All
Oh
right.
boy.
It's okay.
This is still
No one's
real touch
allergic
and
to
go.
that shit, right?
Me too.
Oh, no, are you?
My left foot is a swole mess right now.
Ooh.
It's all swole.
Really?
Yeah.
This is from you getting stung.
Yeah. 2 a.m, which who knew Yellow Jackets were awake after dark? I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't think they.
2 a.m. I woke up with
nocturnal.
a ow on my foot, and Yellow Jacket got me.
Yikes.
All right, back to social media. Sorry.
Social media, right? I think it's just about, and we're just having a conversation here, fellas.
Sure.
Everybody stay cool.
Yeah.
All right? Everybody calm down. I think it's just about gathering information, gathering intelligence on the people, on the peasants, on the serfs. And at the same time, because Facebook, the whole thing about Facebook kind of starting at the same time, the DARPA project supposedly ended. You're familiar with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what the hell was that thing called again? LifeLog?
Yeah,
LifeLog ended
I think it was LifeLog. Yeah.
literally the same day and month in 2004 that Facebook started. And that whole project was to gather information from people. And so with Facebook, you basically have everybody submitting all of their information freely, all their family, all their connections, what they like, what they don't like. And of course, there's all these, government agencies doing things with supercomputers and artificial intelligence and, fucking Terminators and shit just around the corner. I'm embellishing there, but you see what I'm saying? It's basically just about gathering information. And so they've developed a way to have people freely pass it over and think it's, I'm just sharing information with my family and friends. And you see that, Facebook and things like that, they didn't just start by a guy working out of his garage, like with Amazon. All of these things, these people were propped up. Zuckerberg was propped up and they were promoted and pushed forward. And so now we have this thing that's, used by everybody. So just think of the possibilities with having everybody submit their information freely. And
You could really target marketing and advertisements.
Exactly, which they do, right?
Yeah, but you could also target behavior and the way people respond to things,
and
news
that goes
stories,
into,
all this polarity that we experience in reality.
That's going into pre-crime too,
and they
where
say
they're
that
talking about
exactly.
Yeah.
Data is the new revolution or industrial revolution. It's data.
It's the
That's
money
the new
of the
currency.
Yeah,
It's all that. And I feel like, harvesting all that data is brilliant. Seems like a great idea.
And they've
so
done
I
it in
guess
such
to
a
what
way.
end I would say it's just to have it, to know everything. Like you can like be talking about something random, right now around a cell phone, and then it'll pop up.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Or if you're talking about it, you might hop over to your laptop. There'll be an ad for it. I mean, that is kind of, I don't know if it's scary.
It's freaky deaky.
Yeah, but it's unsettling.
Yeah, and besides that, like we were saying, just creating divisiveness with people. Everybody's picking a side, and everybody has their stupid opinion, and they post their stupid shit.
And they're very adamant about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so it's it gives them an outlet to do that, which also at the very same time makes them. It does nothing. You change nothing by posting shit on your Facebook or your TikTok or whatever people do. It does nothing. So
I agree.
You completely just submit to not being able to change anything about what's going on in your world. You just, but somehow you feel as if you have.
What about the people that post like a picture of the Ukraine flag in their as their avatar pictures? Is
one of your topics? I think you were wanting to get into a little bit today. Ask the fellas about, right?
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
I've never seen that.
What's it called again?
Posting it. Slacktivism overall is one of the things that really grinds my gears. I've said it once.
Really
Probably
hates
I'll
it.
say
Hates
again.
it. Hates it.
What
hates
is
it.
slacktivism?
Like when you are behind somebody, and right now, let's say, and they have a Ukraine flag sticker on their car. What?
A bumper
fuck?
sticker,
What are they doing? How's that helping?
What was the other one though? You had one before the Ukraine Russia shit was going on. You had.
I don't know.
One of my favorites was the
You had-
template on a Facebook post that says, "I have a healthy distrust of government, but I'm also vaccinated." Have you seen that shit?
No.
Yeah,
No.
that's okay.
It's
That's
cringe.
along to use a popular,
Yeah. Meta cringe.
Yeah.
the lingo of the times there. Cringe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You had one, though, that was before the Ukraine thing that I thought was really funny. It was, but I can't remember what it was.
I don't know.
Along the lines of slacktivism.
Yeah,
where
I mean-
people just...
Well, on one of your podcasts previously, you were talking about the voting stickers, which I
There it is.
thought that was
That's it.
hilarious, and I
That's it.
completely
That's it.
agreed
Thank
with.
you, Nathan.
You were like,
Yeah.
I voted.
Right.
God, they
Which,
put
by the
this-
way, I hate to break it to you, everybody, but voting does absolutely nothing. You fucking idiots.
I
So just
completely agree with
stop
that.
wasting your time. Okay?
Yes.
These people that you see, they do nothing. It's nothing. It's
I think it's all a
ridiculous.
game. They
it's
just
ridiculous.
they
Jeff,
just
what do
let
you
us.
think?
I agree.
Okay.
Wow. Because I'm the only one that's disagreeing with all that, huh?
You
think
disagree?
with
No, I'm just joking. No. I just want to see what you guys would say.
So slacktivism is somebody who's
on social
They're all
media, like
pretending to, or they're passively joining a cause.
Yes.
Okay.
That does.
they're not
nothing
actually
really.
doing anything, but they,
No, I understand that
Yeah.
100%.
which is
Yeah.
pretty much everybody
And I just-
everywhere.
And then if you
I feel
ask 'em-
bad for the people because they're expending this emotional toll for no reason. Like you're wasting your time.
Yes.
Getting so invested into something. So, remember when gays in the military was this huge topic, and people were so up in arms about it, and they were like, "I got to do something. I need to be part of the movement."
Yeah.
And then now, like, nobody gives a shit, and so think of all those months you spent doing that. Probably had no effect on the outcome. It was gonna be what it was gonna be.
That's everything. That's literally everything.
Yeah.
Everything is like that.
So the problem is you okay, let me put it this way. I had a speech class at school, and it was a tech school. I was with a bunch of technologists. So these aren't like schmoozy dudes. So we would talk to each other like normal human beings, and then when they would get up to do their speech, all of a sudden they were like, "Well, everybody," like eyebrows change, and they're like
Yeah.
Johnny Charisma. You give people a platform, they're not the same person that they are normally. And so we have this whole world that is a platform that gives people, quote unquote, a voice. But let's be honest, it's an echo chamber. So I don't know what they love more. Do they love the sound of their own voice, or do they love the idea that they are a celebrity and that they're being heard? But if you just love the fact that you're being heard, why does it have to be so controversial?
Yeah. I agree.
I guess that's the only thing that pushes you to the front is if you have some sort of,
Yeah, but
you
what do
feel as if you're some sort of a star.
Sure.
I mean, that's the whole purpose of this podcast. That's why I wanted to be
It
heard.
just makes me feel
yeah.
like less and less people are forming a real identity as they're going through their formative years now.
Yeah, I definitely don't want that for myself.
Hmm. Well, we're all fully formed adults,
For the
like
most
we're
part,
all
yeah.
of a certain age where
Yeah.
we've gone through real life. But I can't even imagine. I know everybody says that, but I honestly can't imagine being 18, 16 through 25 or 6.
That'd be insane, right?
And being in this world. Yeah, because you knew me when I was in my early 20s. I was like a total fucking idiot. Like, and if everybody had cameras on them all the time and I was being recorded acting the way I was, yeah, I would have been canceled immediately. A lot of times that shit was not charming.
It's hilarious, though.
And well, this is totally unrelated, but I could not stand being alone at that point in my life too. If I was alone at home, I would call every single person I knew and text too. And then one night, I called everybody. Everybody said that they weren't doing anything. I drove to your house, Justin, even though you told me that you were just going to hang out at home by yourself. I drove to your house uninvited. Because I could not be alone.
I don't remember. Well, I don't remember that, but
You were nice
I'm
enough
sure we
about
had a
it.
great time.
We just watched a show or something, but
Yeah.
yeah, crazy to think about.
Those were the days, though.
Those were the days.
Yep.
That's when I brought that Bart Simpson blow up, the Halloween thing, where he was sitting on the pumpkins. You know what I'm talking about? The yard blow up?
Yeah. Man.
Good times.
Do you remember the night we met, Josh? The election party? The Bush-Kerry election party?
I pretty much met everybody that night. That was the first
Yeah,
time.
was Fremming there too?
Yeah.
Who
That was
hosted
at,
that?
His
Was it
place, right?
That was
his
Fleming's place, yeah.
I remember that night.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that would have been 2004. That's when
Yeah.
I met everybody that night. You shook
Yeah.
my hand,
Yeah. I'm a gentleman.
and I was like, he's taller than me.
I thought I
Son
met
of a
you-
bitch.
I thought I met you at Applebee's.
He's got an inch on me.
I know that feeling. I hate when people are taller than me.
Fucker.
Applebee's.
It's okay. No, that was later.
Was it?
Yeah, the first time I met you guys was at the election party.
Okay.
Election party. Voting. What a joke.
Yeah, that was just a reason. Let's be honest. That was just a reason to get together. And
Yeah,
and
nobody
I'm
cared.
pretty
Yeah.
sure I mentioned to Jason that night even,
Yeah.
because I wasn't voting. I voted once in my life, and I was like, there's really not any point. And I think he sort of scoffed at me. He definitely scoffed. And I was like, and that set me off on my journey.
Well, he was like a
On my
little
conspiracy-
Sid Vicious type, right?
Oh, dude, he was. He still is. No, he's come around now. He gets
he?
it. Yeah, he understands now that it's all a farce and that there's no point.
Did you sway him? Or did he learn on his own?
No, he was doing his own thing.
Okay. Did he ever apologize to you?
No. He would never apologize about anything ever.
Typical.
He's going all the way, baby. No looking back. That guy. God bless him. But, yeah, so anyway.
Yeah. So slacktivism.
Yeah.
Garbage. But you were talking about flat Earth earlier.
Yeah, well, the whole firmament.
Yeah, I mean,
Shit.
just the thought of flat Earth.
hmm
Have you ever heard, what about hollow Earth?
I like the hollow Earth theory as well.
Better?
A little bit. Have you read the book Vril? No,
No.
it's not Vril. It's called The Coming Race. It's about
Sounds like a good race.
yeah. It's Jeff's favorite race.
What? Where is this going?
It's I can't remember the author's name. Shit. It's basically like the idea that it's a science fiction book, but it was written in like I don't know, like the 1600s. So
Yeah.
not a lot of science then, I guess.
Right, right.
But so it's
So it's a bit dated?
fiction. Yeah, it's a bit dated.
I got you.
But it was about like a society of people that lived below the earth or inside of the earth that were basically enlightened people that had possession. They used energy called vril, which is like chi or the force in Star Wars.
Right.
But they used vril, and you know what? I haven't read the whole thing. I'm reading it, so let me come back on when I'm done with it. But a lot of like Nazi technology and like theory came from like this idea as well.
Huh. Never heard of that either.
Yeah. To check that out. You know how I'm into reading
And I
these
know
days.
you will.
Yeah.
And I know you will.
I fell for the Hollow Earth big time when we did that episode on it. Like really, it's really, not that I believe it, but it's like some of the stuff they say makes a hell of a lot more sense than flat Earth, I think.
What about the concave Earth? Have you heard of that?
I've heard of that, but I haven't really looked into that. I know of it.
It's even more
Had no idea. That would've
infuriating to
existed.
listen to someone talk about than flat Earth.
Is that the one where there's what is it? Before I even make an ass of myself.
I believe I watched a video on this recently, and I might not do this as correctly as it actually is. But so basically, the Earth is a shell, and it's concave, and the sun and the moon are the center of that.
Oh, okay.
And that they're within the sun, there is a tetrahedron that is like polarized. And that's in the center, and the sun and the moon rotate around that. That's what it is. You know what a tetrahedron is? It's like two pyramids together.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it's that, and that the sun and the moon go around that, and that the Earth is basically it's like if you cut a basketball in half and looked at the inside of the basketball, it's concave like that, is what this theory is suggesting. And this dude had like a Sharpie and paper and was writing it all out.
Okay.
You know, no facts or
Folded the paper in
documentation.
half and put a
Okay,
pencil.
so like,
Yeah.
It was.
just real quick, I want to throw this in. I get why. Okay, so like, there's all these theories about all kinds of stuff right now. I get why this is happening though, because there's absolutely zero trust in any of our institutions, our infrastructure, our government, our organizations, and we have absolutely no reason to trust any of them. So everybody is just going off the fucking rails now. I'm
making
not to
shit
say
up.
that this isn't true. Not to say that this isn't true, because it could be.
Right.
I don't know. But it just, nobody has any faith, for good reason, in any of our institutions. They're all completely corrupt, and we're lied to every single day of our lives. So,
Well, a lot of that mistrust, I think, goes back to what we were talking about before, where people with a platform to speak are suddenly reality TV stars, and so a lot. It just seems to me like people are performing rather than doing a civil service. It's just a big performance piece, and it's really disenchanting, And then you look at the world, and it just stays the same,
Thank you.
you know.
Nothing's gonna change.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just keeps on going.
like along that same lines of, things like depressions and stuff, or recessions, which they're talking about now, but like depressions. So just to use like the Great Depression of the 30s, like, they just were people like, you had the roaring 20s before and everybody was doing well. You feel like, with the, they control everything. So if we're just talking about like, the economy and stuff like that, they can jerk the rug right out from underneath your feet at any time. And I just feel like that really puts the serfs back in their place. And there's reasons for that. And this is just the common era of that kind of a thing, because it just, sows discord between all the peasants, keeps us bickering with one another kind of a thing,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so along the lines of social media, it just sort of keeps everybody running their mouth.
Keep them occupied.
Social engineering.
Yeah, and you just wonder, like, are these people like the, influencers and stuff, or who the hell knows? Maybe they're, a lot of these people are actually working for agencies and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
how many of these people are propped up themselves, that have followers of millions of people and make them just, drive them crazy. Everybody's going crazy.
Yeah.
What was you were talking about on the parapolitics episode, I believe, about somebody that was in the crowd egging everybody on, but he was part of the bad guys that they were all against. They were infiltrating. I don't remember. I remember exactly what you were talking about.
I could have been anything. There was, off the top of my head, there was like a FBI thing called COINTELPRO, and they basically infiltrated like civil rights groups back in the 60s.
Yeah, something like okay.
And that's, very easy to go in and you start trying to divide whatever sort of, group is trying to do with, civil liberties and stuff like that. They're just trying to break them up so that they can't actually do anything. It seems like they're always finding, they got a good long game,
Yeah.
Governments, agencies, they kind of look at things 10 years, 20 years, 30 years down the road. So, they've got to devise new ways, marketing, things like that are all, propaganda.
Yeah.
Those are all tools to keep the peasants, and we fall for it for the most part, I think.
I think we do, but it seems like they don't land. There's nothing that's really stuck yet. If you think about the past couple of years, there's been race wars, COVID. COVID didn't work. Race wars again.
You think
it's like
COVID was a little test run? Is that what you feel that kind of was?
Yeah.
Just to kind of test the peasants, kind of see what they were,
Abs-
how they would
absolutely.
respond to shutting everything down? Because
Yeah.
we've never experienced that in lifetimes. It's been generations since anything like that's actually happened.
Yeah.
So just test it real quick and see what they do. See what they do or don't do. And we pretty much put up with everything. So
And now it's, how many times have we gone back and forth with this Ukraine-Russia nuclear war thing now that's not going to happen?
fear,
Yeah, it's just, And that, I guess
blasting
that's
them
the
with
point
fear.
I'm trying to make is like none of these are really landing, and it's just they keep cycling them through. So I guess I was saying that, I guess, as a counterpoint to the whole long game. They got a good long game. I think their game's kind of weak, played out. It's kind of just getting annoying, you know?
Right?
To me personally. But I do see this stuff really affecting society.
Yeah,
So maybe that
kinda.
part of the long game is good because they're just making people crazy.
But do you see it affecting society in your actual life, like with your own eyes and ears, or do you see it affecting society on your phone?
I do see. I don't spend a lot of my time on. I deactivated my Facebook and I'm on Instagram, just looking at cool stuff. But I see it more. I do see it in society. I mean, I feel like I have friends now that 10 years ago I could have a conversation like this with that I could not have with now. And
People are polarized.
people are very polarized. And that to me, I think is like the big win that the elite power structure has going for them right now, because it's an ancient tactic, man. Strategy, divide and conquer. You divide people and then
Right.
you take them over.
Do you feel like it's a positive thing to not have an adamant opinion about everything?
I think so.
Yes.
I do too.
Yeah. Because I don't think I do.
Sure.
I don't.
Yeah.
And there's a difference between that and apathy.
Right.
Yeah. Big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think it's good to not allow yourself to be so swayed or influenced
Carried away.
or like reactive to something, you know? It's like the middle way, as the Buddhists
Say.
There's a lot of things
Yeah.
I just don't give a shit about. So,
That's the bulk of it for me.
Yeah.
I think. I don't care. Let's get Frazier go back. Let's pop Frazier back on. You know?
right.
Yeah.
And I think it's hard for people that are very sympathetic to other people's situations. And there's a difference between sympathy and empathy. Sympathy is like you're feeling that way for someone else versus you actually know what it's like and actually experiencing that. I think that's what people think that they're doing when they're picking up these causes on behalf of other people, you know, and waving their flags and wearing their stickers and their patches.
I guess a lot of people don't have any fucking lives, so they just want to just do that, right? They just,
well,
this is
again,
me now. This is who I am.
Yeah, I think that's identity forming.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't really. Look, I spend hours, days, years reading this shit. Okay, the real shit. All right.
Right. Right.
Okay. All right. And
Full books, full articles, not
All of it.
headlines that are meant
all
to.
Tweet.
exact-
How many tweets?
threads? You mean
Oh,
threads?
Threads. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Threads. Lots of threads. And while I'm not an expert, ultimately you come to the conclusion you can't change a fucking thing.
Yeah.
You can change how you think about shit. And
Right.
that's what I think
Yeah.
a lot of
Very
people
depressed.
don't realize is how powerful everyone on the planet individually is, because the one thing we were all born with was the ability to think for ourselves and make a choice about how we think about something. And when you're allowing everything external to you to do that for you, you're not really like being authentic and you're not being yourself, you know? Even if being authentic and being yourself isn't popular to what the hive mentality believes, you know, like that's still giving you individuality.
Yeah.
And like that feels good. When I realized that when I stopped, it's not like I stopped being friends with people that were so opinionated or whatever about what they believe. But when I just kind of distance myself from trying to impress those people or walking on eggshells about what I would say around those people, made me a lot happier, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't even know if happier is the word. It was more fulfilling living a life of just authenticity,
Yeah.
you know?
Less stressful.
Way less
Always
stressful.
thinking about what everybody else is thinking.
And everyone else can do that. That's not just something that's unique to me. Every person has the ability to do that. It's just you have to go inward to do it. And you have to stop paying attention to all this bullshit that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter. Voting doesn't matter.
Correct.
What are your thoughts on the whole vaccine? Did you guys
Who's
get
vaccinated
it?
here?
Did you get it?
I'm not.
I had to do it.
Work.
Yep.
They made you.
Yeah, it did.
Gotcha.
Had no choice.
How many doses?
I got the JJ, so just the one.
No boosters?
No.
Okay.
That reminds
Maybe
me.
okay.
I called your house one time, a long time ago, and I thought you answered the phone, and I said, "What you doing, Booster?" And I heard, "Who is this?" It was your dad. But I thought it was you. Speaking of Booster.
Booster.
This is the first time I'm hearing of this.
I'm sure I told you back in the day, but you might have forgotten.
Did you panic and hang up, or did you?
Is Josh there? Sir, please.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I got the Pfizer,
Did you?
the 2, and then that was I never got a booster.
Did you have to
Yeah.
because of work, or did you just
I
chicken
just
shit out?
well, part of it, and then I just did it. Everybody at work was doing it, so I did it. You know, I had to
Gotcha.
conform.
Yeah.
And I didn't really give a shit. I was like, what's worse going to happen?
Death,
All right.
supposedly.
Yeah.
That whole thing, yeah. Gosh, that was
I did
talk
not,
about
by the way.
strong opinions on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
And so much information, I don't know, who knows how much of it was misinformation or what, but people telling me, no, here are the statistics, the numbers, and then somebody else saying, no, here are the
Jesus.
statistics, the numbers for the opposite.
It was nonstop, right?
Oh yeah.
Annoying as hell.
Yeah.
And everybody's arguing about it.
And I knew in my gut, and I can usually trust my gut, that it would make no difference whether I took it or not.
Yeah.
It wouldn't affect me one way or the other. So, feeling that way, they're like, you won't have a salary anymore if you don't take it. I'm like, yeah, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I put it off until the last day that I had to do it, but
You weren't overly enthused about it. You were.
no, I mean, because the argument of we don't know enough about
What they've made to,
and how it performs in the long run.
the tech.
That's a
the
valid
tech.
argument.
Oh, yeah, for sure. 'Cause if you
But
got-
then again, you have people on the news saying like rolling their eyes and they're like, yeah, okay, look, you gotta get it. And then people watch that and they're like, yeah, those idiots, they need to get it, stupid morons.
And you don't listen to any of those people, obviously.
Do you remember the Simpsons episode where, and this is relevant, it's the one where Lisa becomes a vegetarian and she's in school and they show that film and it's like, it's like showing them
It's like a slaughterhouse.
yeah, slaughterhouse, but they're talking about how meat is good, and then at the end the guy's like, there's a little kid there and he says, my crazy friend said that meat's bad for you, and he's like, he scoffs and he says something demeaning about the kid's friend, and then the video's over and then Lisa's like, that was just a bunch of propaganda, and then Ralph Wiggum's like, my crazy friend thinks that meat's bad. That's not far from how things actually work.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly how they
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
We haven't done an episode on Edward Bernays, but he's a popular...
Did he make that sauce?
Beat
He
me to
wrote
it.
the book Propaganda,
Beat
right?
me to it. Damn you.
We got some competition here now. You got to be quick. You got to be fast.
Yeah.
Just
I'm
a
about halfway through that.
famous propagandist
Book,
of the 20th century. The propagandist of the 20th century. He's got he did a whole thing. And I would encourage our listeners to read up on some of his, because he wrote several books.
Mhm.
So,
What's his name?
Edward Bernays.
Did he make that sauce?
Good one, Justin.
Thank you.
Nice.
I'll edit your part out.
You have the power.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, he was a chief propagandist of the 20th century. Learned it from the Nazis.
Hmm.
And he was Jewish, which was odd that he would use their tactics on dumb old Americans.
Well, if you can't beat him.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, apparently we get a lot of our medical stuff from the old Nazi experiments. Like that's
I heard they were innovative.
They were.
yeah.
Werner von Braun, he talked about the firmament too, by the way, going back to, I think he mentioned it in one of his famous quotes. He was talking about it. Or is it on his tombstone or something?
I don't know.
I don't know.
There's a whole, isn't there a Nazi relation to the flat Earth too? Like, aren't they're out there?
Hollow Earth. There is that
beyond
one,
the
right?
ice wall.
Yeah, the ice wall. Like the Nazis are out there on the ice wall. Like that's their home base. That's a whole thing.
In all of that,
But that's
like,
what Antarctica is,
Yeah.
according to Flat Earth, it is the ice wall. It's not a continent. Right?
fascinating.
I
Yeah, I
believe
think that's what
it
it's
is.
supposed to be, yeah. And nobody can go there. We're not allowed to.
I mean, that is interesting.
There's so much
Kind of like
we
the
don't
Truman
know.
Show, how he could only go so far out in the ocean, or what he couldn't go to that one past that one street.
And they were feeding fear into him the whole time so that he was terrified of the water. So
Yep.
that's basically what they do with us.
Mm-hmm.
Basically.
What do you guys think about all this UAP stuff that's going around?
UAP.
Unidentified aerial phenomena. The government's releasing their own videos.
All this UFO bullshit.
Hey, easy.
It's okay. I'm just
Okay.
because
I think our boys are flying those, right?
probably
Isn't that what it is?
You think so?
Well,
Yeah.
So who observes those?
A lot of people, but there are some that are from the like the Nimitz that was out there. That's where the Tic Tac video came from.
So I thought
a
that
Navy pilot.
someone said that whoever is seeing these things on the radar or whatever, they can't identify it because they're not part of the group that's testing these new technologies.
Right.
They're still human beings.
Right. Like they're just drones that nobody knows about.
Yeah. And so in that sense, it is unidentified because they don't have it in their register or whatever.
Right. Right. So you don't think aliens are driving them?
In this case, no, but I do think that there are aliens. I'm sure they exist.
Here.
I don't know. It's possible.
Okay. Living among us? Is Josh an alien?
I highly doubt it.
With that stash?
He's American as apple pie.
So you think aliens do exist somewhere in the universe, obviously.
It would make sense
right? Has
for
to.
that. Yeah.
Statistically speaking, right?
Yeah.
Right. I don't think anybody argues that. If you argue that, I think you're an idiot.
With the vastness,
There
and
should-
we're the only
Yeah.
planet with
Stupid.
living. Yeah.
Are they here? That's the question. Are they flying these things? Are they whizzing around here, abducting people?
Is that a religious argument, though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
God only created us.
Yeah.
He created the whole universe, but just this one dot has stuff on it.
Yeah.
That's it.
But everybody agrees that there's no 100% accuracy in any of this, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
I guess what I say is that there are those possibilities, but I would never say that I know this.
Right.
But I'm okay with not knowing. I think that separates my mindset from a lot of people because, especially if we talk about death, the whole discussion of what happens after.
Right.
I don't know. I have
think-
no way of knowing that.
Right.
But I'm okay with not knowing that. So I'm not going to spend my life searching for an answer to an unanswerable question.
Right. I think spending your life is shitty worrying about it, but I love to think about it and talk about it.
Yeah. I think if you're doing it in a healthy, in a way to just have a discussion.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're really hung up on it, as some people are, I think it's unfortunate. It's kind of a waste of the time you do have.
I agree. Saying that, though, I can't sleep at night because I'm scared of death. I think I'm more scared of dying than actual death afterwards.
Oh, like the way it happens.
Yeah, feeling it. No, cancer, perhaps. Oh, God. I've always said that if I got cancer, I'd be shit-faced out of my mind the rest of my life anyways. I would just be down in booze.
There was a Twilight Zone episode. It might not have been Twilight Zone. It might have been Outer Limits. But a guy was he was killed by some mafia people. And so after that happens, the rest of the episode is like from his point of view. He can't move, he can't speak, but he's still like conscious and aware and can see and feel everything that's happening. And they're zipping him up in a body bag, and they take him somewhere and they unzip him, and they're like arguing about the hit and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And that terrified me as a kid.
Yeah.
Like, you're saying when I die, I'm just like basically paralyzed and
Trapped in your dead body.
yeah,
Yeah.
that freaks me out bad.
Yeah.
So
I still don't like the thought of cremation.
Really?
Or, I'm sorry, being buried alive. Cremation
Being
makes a lot of
buried
sense.
alive.
Being buried alive. Being buried.
I don't like
My
the
cremation-
either.
Oh, I'm sorry, being buried alive.
I misspoke there. I apologize. My corpse being buried. Because what if there is something in your body that we don't even know about yet? Like, 100 years ago, 200 years ago, we didn't know exactly
Oh
half.
God, what if
The stuff we
everybody?
don't know.
What if everybody dies, wakes up 1 year later?
Yeah.
Ugh.
You're stuck in there. But what if there's like just a little something in your body that we don't know about yet that just, it's fucking still alive. You're still conscious in there, and then you're just buried. Burn me.
So what do you think? Just send you seaworthy?
I mean, my dream would be to just launch me into space. I would love that. Just
Oh
be-
yeah, just float around.
Just
frozen.
go forever. Yeah. Then hopefully, get picked up by a kick-ass group of aliens. Pick this podcast back up. And
Right.
just continue on.
Yeah.
Speaking of space, what do you think about that space station? You think that's real?
The International Space Station?
The space station?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I think it's real. I mean, people, you can see it when it passes over.
Can see something.
But I mean, but exactly. Is it really the space station? But there's videos from NASA that their people are on there, so
I'm sure it's...
Have you seen those videos? People freeze frame. There's like a bubble. They say they're
Yeah.
underwater. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why their hair is floating, because they're really underwater.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, to that
There's-
point, I saw Corey and Sean walk in their backyard, but they were indoors the whole time.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Do you know?
I do not.
Was that on Boy Meets World?
Yes.
I think you could have picked any show, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Boy Meets World. It's a good one.
What does that mean?
There are just some attractive ladies on there.
Oh.
Back when I was that age.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was okay.
Gotcha.
So you don't think aliens are
Among Us?
abducting people?
No.
What
I don't think so.
What if, and I'm just going to inject this real fast, you've heard the part where they're the sort of theory that this was some sort of government project. They were using drugs, MK Ultra kind of a thing.
Yeah.
There were no aliens abducting people. This was actually, CIA, somebody like that, maybe. Abducting people, injecting them with drugs, hallucinogenics.
Got them zooted.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, what about that? What do you feel about that?
That's another one of those things. What's the point of that?
Just to fuck with people.
Okay.
Mhm.
I guess
Because the whole point of
understand
MK
what the-
Ultra was
what
mind
the, what
control.
the end game is of that, though.
I mean, that MK Ultra went on for decades, and then they had that one little sub project, which was like Operation Midnight Climax,
Yeah.
where they got prostitutes and got Johns in there, and they drugged them
Yeah.
just to see what the results of their various drug cocktails were going to be. So who knows? Maybe they did do something like that.
Which
Right?
I guess I get that more than breaking into people's houses, getting them in their bed. That seems like it's a whole ordeal as opposed to just getting somebody that wants to fuck a prostitute and then he's already there,
Right.
ready to go for you.
Easy pickings.
Yeah. I don't know. But what about like the Travis Walton case? You guys familiar with Travis Walton? Fire in the Sky?
Maybe he's
Oh, yeah.
Maybe he's a liar.
You think he's a liar?
I don't know. I'm saying maybe he is.
No. Just all these years.
Well, didn't they debunk that kid who that book and movie Heaven is for Real? It's based on.
I don't know what that is.
You never heard about
Somebody got debunked.
that? I'm pretty sure that happened. There's some little kid that he technically died for however long, and when he came to, he was telling all these stories about how he went to heaven, and he was saying things according to this story, the book and the movie. He was explaining things that he saw there that he would have had no way of knowing otherwise, things about his family and stuff, family members that had passed on. But I feel like later, maybe like 15 years after all that was made, it was proven that he lied about it. I could be wrong, but I feel like I did
And that could
read
be the case sometimes.
Allegedly.
People could just be making some shit up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but when I see those videos about people who died and went to heaven and came back and they're all crying and talking about their experience, it just
The
all
tunnel.
seems like bullshit to me. And it seems like all that's playing into is trying to scare people into believing that if you check all these boxes and if you do this shit this way, you'll go to heaven.
See, I don't
And
even
if you
think,
don't, then you won't.
I don't even think about it like that. Like, I guess to me, that's like somewhat. I don't even believe in it, but it's somewhat reassuring. Like what, like the Steve Jobs. You hear about that? And as he was dying, he was looking around, just going, "Oh wow, oh wow."
Oh yeah, didn't Sam Kinison have something like that too?
I don't know.
I think he did. I can't remember the details, but
Well, you
Like-
can have the same kind of
like-
experience with DMT.
Yeah, that's true. But I guess don't they say that DMT?
I mean, I wouldn't know how to compare the two because I haven't had a near-death experience like that. But
Right, right. But they say DMT gets released as you're done, or isn't
Right.
that one of the things?
mm-hmm.
So that's what you're saying. That could be the
yeah,
the cause of the
but we'll never know.
hallucinations.
And then when we do, we won't know anything.
I know.
Or
or
we'll
it
know
could be they
everything.
were actually experiencing something like crossing over,
Right.
which is what you do when you're on DMT,
Yeah.
going to the spirit world, man.
And what's the other? The ayahuasca.
I
That's a
haven't
big
done that
thing,
one.
isn't it? You have?
Have not.
Oh, okay. I was about to say
Looking forward to it.
it's. I don't think I would ever do it because it scares me. But
Yeah, me too.
But it seems awesome. These people that do it, they're like they come back and their whole life's.
Is that
different.
the one that goes on for like several days?
Yeah, you puke a lot,
Yeah, no thanks.
and it's like you need a shaman to do it. Don't you go to South America?
I'd
Isn't that
rather
where-
stay home and eat
Yeah.
a turkey sandwich.
I know. Yeah, that stuff scares me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you had an experience like that, I think it would. Again, I think it would reassure me big time, just with life, Because I'm scared of dying. I am. I'm terrified of it.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of unavoidable, I guess. Because it's just
yeah.
because it's unknown.
Right. You watch Rick and Morty?
No, I tried, but I
Oh.
couldn't get past the disgustingness of the of Rick.
The way he burps and shit all the
Yeah,
time.
and he's always got shit drooling.
Oh, like the
hanging out of
literal
his-
disgust, not his thoughts. and
No,
action.
no,
Oh,
it's
okay.
like his belching and the stuff on his chin just
Yeah.
grossed me out too much. I couldn't watch it. I always thought
You're missing out.
I like Barney Gumble, but he's the worst part of The Simpsons to me because of the belching. I don't think it's
okay.
funny, and I think it's disgusting.
Well, fair enough.
What about farts?
Those don't bother me so much.
All right.
That's fair, I think. Let me tell you about this thing in Rick and Morty, though.
Okay, tell me. I hear it's awesome.
It's great.
I wish I could watch it, but I can't.
They go to one of these dimensions, right? There's some arcade, Blitz and Chits, I believe it's called. And they have you seen it?
I have not.
Okay, well, there's this game. It's called Gary's Life or something like that. And you get in it, you play it, and you just live a whole entire lifetime. And then you die, and then you're back out the arcade. But in their time, it's like 3 minutes, like a normal game time. What if that's what we're all doing right now? Are we failing in this game, or are we kicking ass in this game?
Yeah, that's a thought.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Or I mean, I think that's kind of in alignment with what I believe. I wouldn't find that far-fetched at all that this is a game, that we're a part of a consciousness that is so vast that we do this experience just to be something other than everything.
Right.
Well, Nathan's
Just
a big believer in that this is all simulation.
Yeah.
You are. My brother's a big fan of that.
It's what's similar to creation theory too, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Because if there is a simulation, there would have to have been something that created it. You could call that God, I guess.
Yeah. But then you could be a simulation in a simulation in a simulation. You can just keep going down. Like which one's real?
It's like Inception.
When do you exactly? Do you think it's like the Matrix? When
Yeah.
you die, you just wake up and you're.
Oh yeah.
But and all those memories come back to you immediately.
Mm-hmm.
That world or whatever.
Oh, you love this shit, don't you?
I mean, I like it. I
You
do.
really do.
I mean, what can I say? Yeah, I don't know, because it's the unknown, so it's just fun to chit chat about.
Which is what we specialize in here.
It's true.
My favorite concept of aliens, going back to that though, because I thought about it while you were talking, is Star Trek First Contact, the way it was there. Like the aliens that were always aware of human beings, but they were waiting for human beings to be evolved enough
Right.
to join them in
We outgrew our
There's a
infancy.
South Park
sailing
about
the
that, too.
starry seas. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I like Star Trek a lot. It's because it is like a peaceful, for the most part, peaceful thing. Right?
Yeah, it's like a utopian future, kind of.
As opposed to Star Wars, there's just a lot of wars going on in there, But
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the name.
yeah, I don't know. Star Trek just seems cool, but yeah, that's what he talks about. Humans had to earn it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we're there yet.
No.
And First Contact was cool because it was about aliens and time travel. Love it.
Is that where Data? You see Data move fast? Is that where she shoots at him? I think she's at.
Was that one?
But you finally get to see Data move. Like that was the debate we always had. Me and Jason and whoever else. Data versus Yoda. Who would win?
Oh yeah.
Data versus Yoda.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Yoda.
Have you ever seen Yoda? Forget it. I'm already out.
I mean, he would just break him apart with the Force.
I know that's always a thing.
But he would
Data could dodge it.
Data would plan for that
Data
because he's so
could dodge
tactical.
the Force.
Yeah, he'd
That would
see
be
it all
interesting
coming.
if- I've never seen a droid like anywhere near like taking out a Jedi,
Data's more than that.
dodging
though.
the Force. Did you see what Luke Skywalker did on Mandalorian season 2 to all those droids?
I did see that, but those were like
Those were badass droids.
not compared to Data.
Not compared to
Yeah,
Data.
Data's got it. You know.
I know.
Data's the man.
I watch that show religiously.
Yeah.
Still do.
a good
TNG
show.
only.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
It's the superior.
It is the best.
Deep Space Nine shit. Kiss my ass, man. And that other
I want to get in that holodeck.
stupid shit. Oh. I'd have to hit that shit with a pressure washer, man, every day. When I finished up, I have thought that one through for many years.
Yeah.
It would be a nightmare. Old Reginald Barkley, they thought he was doing some crazy shit in there, but they didn't see nothing, man. I got in there and, because he was banging all the crew, so
Sure.
in some sort of like Robin Hood-esque, Dark Ages, which is hot. It's hot.
Yeah, I guess.
I think we would all do that too. I know I would.
Go on.
That's as far as I want to take it
Okay. All right.
for today. So,
Fair enough.
but I do want to get another tall boy.
What do you think about simulation theory while you move away?
I just don't like to speak on shit that I know nothing about.
Nobody knows about it, really. It's all just,
That I don't ever read anything on, or
it's a-
I don't
With no
ever
knowledge,
research.
does it seem plausible?
Sure.
Because deja vu.
Right. A glitch in the Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Have you seen those signs that people are posting in parks and in subways and bathrooms? It says there's like a caution sign. It says "deja vu area." If you think you've been here before, please seek assistance. That's like the
Ooh.
latest little prank people are doing.
Have you heard about the back rooms?
No.
Like where if it's this room that you go to when you glitch out in the Matrix or in the simulation.
There we go.
Look it up.
The
Look
back
up,
rooms.
Look up back rooms.
Okay.
It's basically like it's the rooms that are basically like, it's a way you could put it, is like purgatories. Like,
Do you know anybody personally that's
been to the back room? No.
experienced in this information that could possibly come on our show and talk about it in
In
depth?
simulation theory?
Yeah. Do you know anybody that
Not really. Like me,
Because you have a podcast also. I don't know if we've mentioned that or not.
Yeah.
And you've done a lot of interviews. I just didn't know if perhaps maybe.
Yeah,
I've talked. To
I mean,
somebody.
I have some friends that share the same theory, but I wouldn't say anyone is necessarily an expert on it. There's a book,
scholar.
There's a book that I have by the author's name is I'm going to try to look this up as I talk.
Standing by.
He's a quantum physicist, and he wrote a book on simulation theory.
Well, he may know some shit.
That was really good. Yeah, keep talking. I'll look this up here.
Speaking of quantum, did you see that they're remaking Quantum Leap?
Yep.
What do you think about that?
I don't like it.
I knew you wouldn't.
I'm a purist. I'm a purist, Jeff.
Yeah.
I can't even. I don't even know where to watch. You guys are talking about your television programs.
Mm-hmm.
Used to be back in the day, you could just turn the TV on and watch some shit. Now you can't do that. You have to subscribe. You have a subscription to all these different.
Yeah.
And I just don't. I don't partake.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
I have them all.
Okay.
You know, most of them.
These are all individual. So like monthly.
Mm-hmm. Or yearly.
It can get pretty pricey, right?
Yeah.
That's the problem.
I know.
I like free shit.
I hear you.
It's like our podcast. It's free.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I like that
quality content, and it's free for anyone to listen to.
True that.
All right.
Yeah, you make a good point. I can't deny it.
I don't know where to watch things anymore.
Yeah, they make it really difficult.
That book is called. It's by Dr. Donald Hoffman, The Case Against Reality, Why Evolution Hid the Truth from Our Eyes. I think that's a good place to start if you're into simulation theory. He's got a lot of YouTube videos. That's how I found out about him, and I bought the book. And it's pretty good stuff. He seems to be the expert, in my opinion.
Noted.
To post that in the show notes,
All right.
as they do, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, check that out there. FYI.
Along with anything else we decided to share with you.
If we remember to note it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll note this one for sure. Anyway.
So let me ask you guys this.
Mm-hmm.
Conspiracy theory in general. Do you think it's just something that humans just created because they need to have some kind of an issue, or do you think it's any truth to it? Is there any truth to that? I think some of them are crazier than others, obviously.
JFK. Who's spent any time on that one? Pulling it back to what we can perceive to be the real world for just a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Has anyone else in here spent years like I have
No, I
on the
have not.
JFK
I wrote my
assassination?
decades paper on it in high school, but that was about it.
That's good enough. All right, carry on.
What do you think?
Me?
Yeah.
I think it's both.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's both. I think a lot of it does come from nuggets of truth, or maybe whole truths. I don't know, but then I think a lot of it becomes exaggerations. I do hear, I do hear a lot about it more these days than I did maybe 10 years ago or whatever. But maybe that's just because of the environment I'm in. I don't know. But I was at the chiropractor's office.
You go to a chiropractor?
I've been quite a few times, yeah.
What's wrong with your back?
It just locks up at the bottom. Makes it hard to move.
And the chiropractor helps?
It does. Yep. I like it.
Did you do the neck crack?
I originally went because my neck was all messed up, and they put me on that thing where it's like electricity.
Yeah.
It's the TENS machine, I think it's what it's called.
Do you want to plug the chiropractor?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, is it a man?
Yes.
That's why you don't then.
Oh, but you know what? He does have a cool name.
All right.
His first and last name, it's Major Talent.
That's not bad.
That's a cool name.
Yeah, it's a great name.
They told me I was going to go see Dr. Talent, and I was in there looking at his degrees on the wall, and it said Major Talent. I was like, "Is your name Major Talent?" He goes, "Yep." Like, wow, that's pretty cool.
He gets asked that every day.
Oh, but anyway, I was at the chiropractor's office, and I'm waiting in the lobby, and there's a guy who is one of those guys that's chatting up the ladies at the reception desk, you know?
Yeah.
Like leaned on top of it,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, "Yeah." And I think this was this might have been right before that whole January 6th invade the White House thing.
You were
Was
there,
that January
right?
6th?
You were there for that,
Is
right?
that the right date?
Yep, January
Yeah.
6th.
You did go to that, right? Though you were there.
No, I did not. But he was
he
up
did.
there.
I thought he did.
He was up there. He's like, "You been to the store lately?" And the lady's like, "Nah, I haven't been in a couple weeks." And he's like, "Well, you ought to go and get yourself stocked up on stuff, because here in about a couple weeks, things are gonna go down for about a couple weeks." I say that all the time now. It's here in about a couple weeks.
So you're saying he had the inside scoop?
Yeah. And I just overhear stuff like that more often now than I did before.
Yeah.
But again, could just be time and place.
It is more
Yeah.
pervasive.
Mhm.
There's a lot of people that I'm not gonna mention any names. There's a guy I work with who, his whole life was revolved around, team sports, golf, things like that. God bless him. He's a sweetheart, but now he knows it all. He's a professional conspiracy theorist. He knows everything, and he's telling me shit. Fucking guy. It's total bullshit. But anyway,
Like what?
what specifically?
Like anything like crazy off the top of your head that you?
Well, he's going to be one of your QAnon folks,
All right.
and so everything comes from that. Essentially, everything that he knows comes from that.
Right.
And he's a
So-
good guy. Don't get me wrong. If he's listening to this, he's a good guy. But
Is he the one that said we talked for too long?
no,
Okay,
He's a different guy.
I like him then.
But he was trying to tell me there, something one day, and I was like, Jesus Christ, man, I cannot believe I'm offended that you're trying to tell me something about something. You know what I mean? Like, this is all I do. I have no, he's married, kids, and all that stuff. He's got,
Yeah.
a life, and not me, brother. I am this all the time. I'm in the trenches. He doesn't understand that though. He's just come to it the past since the pandemic started. So past 2 years, I guess you could kind of say.
So what does he?
I've been
know?
going for years.
Do you argue with him a lot, or do you just let him go?
No, I just let him go. There's no point.
Yeah.
And of course, he tries to. I'll tell him something, and this could be with anybody that sort of fits into that, mold of new conspiracy theorists. But I'm just more history, really. That's more kind of what I'm into, is just the history of stuff. But he just, he and people like him will do their thing, and I've told him things before in the recent past, and he's told them wrong, and that pisses me off when somebody takes what you've told them because you've read a fucking book, which he doesn't do, and then he'll try and relay this information to somebody else, and you're like, Jesus Christ, you're totally just, you make us all look bad, okay?
Yeah.
You make us all look bad. Anyway.
You're just in the corner going, God damn.
I've done it already. I've been down the hall, and I've heard it taking place,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm like, Jesus, just shut up. Just shut the fuck up.
Have you told him that QAnon's a psyop?
Yes. It's no good.
No good?
So many things are. So, hey, real
That's
quick.
the conspiracy theorists' conspiracy theory.
Yeah. The January 6th thing, though, like, what do you all think about that? As far as like, I kind of thought that it was more of just sort of a, get some people to see what they'll do, and just sort of set them up, and just see how you can push certain people. Because again, I think the majority of that January 6th thing came from the QAnon stuff, right?
Mhm.
I guess I'm not fully,
What?
I'm not totally familiar
Yeah.
with it. I think I just popped out right there,
It's
didn't
okay.
I? Sorry about that.
It's no problem.
I don't want to say it was like 100% staged, but I believe that it took advantage of people who would easily just go with that.
Agreed.
But I mean, when the police step down, or you don't even have security there and you just let people in, come on. Because I feel like if that was a real thing.
Insurrection.
I can't. Yeah, that bothers me, or it makes me laugh when I hear that word.
It's pretty silly, right?
Because that's not a fucking insurrection. It's like if people would have gone in there, like forcefully, like really gone in there, they would have been mowed down
Right.
with gunfire. They would have been destroyed, And
if that's actually what it was taking place. An upheaval, supposedly, right?
Wait,
I think
what?
that's kind of like an upheaval. That's kind of what you're seeing like in Iran right now, right? There's a whole bunch of stuff like that going on over there.
Mm-hmm.
They're actually shooting people and killing them. So when you see real stuff,
Yeah.
as opposed to this little opera this little show, this little production they put on,
And and it's just so media driven and news driven, which I can't talk to people that watch news and talk about it as if it's real. I can talk to them, but I can't have any type of conversation with them that I feel is like based on anything real. I'm not going to debate with someone who watches that shit and it's like, yeah.
It's mostly the person that's kind of gone off on their own. Like, well, you're talking like independent media, but you have to be careful there too. But
Independent media like
well, for example,
InfoWars.
yeah, that's where you have to be careful.
Yeah.
Just talking about like somebody. Well, before we started the podcast, talking about the guy that wrote the author of the Chaos book, for example. So he originally was supposed to do like a 5-page, something for a magazine, I think, and then it ended up being 20 years of research before he finished that book. Basically discovering that Charlie Manson was probably just some sort of a MK Ultra subject. He kept getting arrested, then he would get released, get arrested, get released, It's like they were watching him just to see what he was going to do. They allowed him to create this little cult, and watch there. Of course, his doctor in San Francisco was that Jolly West guy who was a doctor for this MK Ultra program. And this has taken decades for all of this stuff to come to light. It takes years and years for all this stuff before we can get kind of a full picture of kind of what's taken place in the past. Kind of tells us, I guess, where we are in the present, right? So, because if they're doing this shit 40 years ago, Christ knows what they're doing now. That's
now I think
that's
that's what social media is and all that shit. Just getting back to that social engineering stuff.
Control.
Yeah. What about lizard people?
Yes, David Icke.
David Icke.
God bless him.
Yeah.
I love him too.
Me too.
Why not?
I know that there are reptilians that live in the Hollow Earth. That's part of the ongoing war between people and the reptilian. So that's really all I know.
That's all you need to know.
Politicians are all reptilians, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now that
they show those videos of them blinking.
Yeah, their eyes blink.
yeah.
Don't they eat babies and stuff too?
Yeah, well, they harvest
adrenochrome, right?
Yeah. That's what. Do you want to bring up? I know you were embarrassed by the episode, but
I am not.
One of the whole things was.
Did you do an episode on that?
The Montauk Project.
Oh, okay.
Which is the most ridiculous. It just encompasses literally every conspiracy that goes through the Montauk Project.
Yeah.
It is channeled through that one.
Yeah. Have you seen...
We would encourage our listeners to listen to that episode, by the way, if you're not familiar with that.
Yeah. Have you guys watched Stranger Things?
Yes.
I haven't seen the last
I haven't seen the newest
But
season.
you know of it.
Yeah.
You watch, you're familiar. That story is based on the, quote, true story, which is Project Montauk Project.
Oh, is that right?
They were originally going to call it Montauk,
Mm.
but they didn't want to get caught up with all the stupid lore of the real stories. It's dumb. It's about a base on Long Island. Mm-hmm. Underneath it, they would kidnap children, just homeless people even, right? Do all these kind of like 11 in the chair. They would have all those little things. They would cross realms.
Cerebro.
Monsters got loose, and base closed down due to a monster attack.
The chair that would sort of focus and or enhance your psychic ability.
Yeah,
dude. It's
Montauk
essentially
chair.
all this came from like one or two guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
A couple of goofballs.
I already forgot his name. To be honest with
it's
you,
not important. He's an idiot.
Are we talking about Project Looking Glass? Is that part of the Montauk stuff?
I don't know about that. I don't think I've heard of that one.
I've heard of that.
I believe that one has to do with.
It's another CIA thing.
Yeah, it's what's the word? I can't think of it. It's basically where you're like you're astral projecting into certain places. Remote viewing is what it's about. Remote viewing, that's what it's called.
That was every bit of this and more.
Okay.
Oh yeah, big time.
Interesting.
I mean, yeah. Where was I going with that? Oh, yeah, adrenochrome. That was the main theory. They were harvesting adrenochrome from children to give to the reptilians for their food.
I mean, these people,
I thought that's
admittedly,
what Hillary was doing.
they do some crazy shit. So, like, everybody knows pretty much about the Bohemian Grove.
Oh yeah.
Why is there a 40-foot owl there, and why is there an altar, and why are they doing this shit, and we've got photographs of these people for decades going to these things and wearing these robes and doing all this weird shit. I mean, there has to be something to it, right? Is there some sort of weird, like, I don't know,
magic?
A cult?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. That's all I needed.
It's my opinion.
The answer to that, I knew it. So, like, do they attribute their wealth and power to Moloch? I don't know what. I mean, I'm wondering about that all the time too. Like, what are these people? Because we've had this discussion before. Me and Justin have had this discussion where people, you think about what you would do if you were wealthy, if you had lots of money and power, what you might do, for example, just being a normal fella, a couple of normal fellas. But then, imagine you have all the money and wealth and power. How high your highs have to be for you to enjoy anything. I mean, we're talking 8mm here. Snuff films, fucked up shit, killing kids.
Surviving the game?
I have to assume these people do this stuff because you can't just like, oh, I want to go to Paris.
Go ahead.
No. I'm just saying.
Jeff got me. You go ahead, though.
No. I want to go shopping, and buy some shit. So I wonder what these people like, what kind of crazy shit they get into. I don't know.
My whole theory on that, I told you this. I think it's just a bunch of billionaires. They just get together with other billionaires so they can bitch about problems that they have that they can't relate to the common folk with. Their yacht's not done in time.
We know Epstein. We know Epstein had a whole thing going on, right? That's the most current.
Yeah.
And that's very well known now. Nothing has really come from that, though.
Well,
Ghislaine Maxwell goes to prison, but nobody was indicted. Nobody goes to prison for, and we know essentially what was going on there. It was sort of like a blackmail operation, right? So, but like, at that level, you can't just carry on normal relationships. You can't have normal life. So I'm always like, what kind of fucking crazy shit do these people get into? What kind of weird, like, it's just because they're, I don't know. Do they actually attribute their money and power and luck, to something supernatural, or is it just a weird kick? It's fun to go and kill some kids.
it's got to be, right?
I guess.
Not fun, but you know what I mean.
Well, fun.
Sometimes I wonder too if it's all just not that in itself as a psyop and made up. Do you ever see that episode of South Park where the kids found out that like they were talking about like, oh, George Bush did 9/11 or something like that, and he ended up telling them like, look, I didn't do that. This really happened, and we just want people to be afraid of us. We're really a bunch of dumbasses. Is basically what it was suggesting. It'd be nice if that's what it was, but I could think it could be something as just like these people are fucking freak lunatics. Or they're perverted Satanists.
Somewhere in between, right?
Yeah. Somewhere between.
Or
I don't know if what they do attributes to their success, but I do believe that through thought, you can manifest things into your life. It's just on a subconscious level, and some people call that magic, but it's really just the power of controlling your own mind. And I think people in that position of power probably do that, and then they probably try to control other people's minds, which is like, I think, the state of the world that we're in now. I feel like not a lot of people have control over their own minds, whether you think you do or not.
Yeah, and you're being bombarded with this shit every day of your life, so it's very difficult, to resist.
Yeah, simply taking offense to something is suggesting that you don't have control over your own mind, because your mind's being controlled by something external to you, to the degree that you don't have control over the way you think or feel anymore, and you react to it. You know what I'm saying? So I just think of that on like a massive scale.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that answered the question about Moloch or the Bohemian Grove.
Yeah.
But then you got Alex Jones pushing that shit too. So it's like, how do I know that's not a big fucking Hollywood stage out there? They're like, we want these people to be afraid of us, think we're Satan worshipers. Let's get Alex Jones to come out here with a shitty camera. And I mean, I don't know. I can't confirm or deny.
Are you an Alex Jones fan?
I refuse to really accept his version of reality.
Right.
Because it's just very negative and doom and gloom. And I feel like if that's what you focus on, that's what you will experience in life. I believe Alex Jones is controlled opposition.
Always was, or just eventually became...
I don't know, before or after he was Bill Hicks.
Was acquired, yeah.
No, I think maybe he wasn't always that way, but I definitely think he is now. I think all these trials and shit that he's going through is just a fucking joke.
It's weird that the news has to sell advertising, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's odd.
So immediately there's
bias.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's bound to be some sort of spinning or pandering or.
You think it?
Same for lobbying with politicians.
Yeah.
It's bribery that's essentially we know about. It's right out in the open.
They make it really hard to believe anything.
Yeah. Do you think it started with the 24-hour news channels rather than just half-hour, hour at night? That was it for the world news. That's all you got. And then it became all day, every day.
Yeah.
And now too with social media, like someone could post some shit across the world
because local news,
something blowing up. Oh no, I feel bad about it.
It's nonstop.
Local news at 10 is usually just like main story of the day,
right.
Main headline. Local kid pet his dog yesterday.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and then it got the weather.
That's the way. That's
and
the way it
got
should be.
Lottery numbers, and then you say, "Now go to your local."
I think that was a swell system.
Get you a Slurpee.
You didn't think? You don't
10
think so?
cents off the sweet. No, I love it.
Okay.
No, that's how it should be.
Yeah, I don't see what the problem was. Why it became, and now it is just pure entertainment. I think for the most part.
Yeah, now it's always side by side panels of two people, and the anchor's very serious and questioning them, and the person's getting really mad.
Yeah.
Or they're both on the same page and they're just bitching about somebody else on the other side.
Yeah.
And they're rolling their eyes and they're like, "Get it, viewers? Like that guy's a cuckoo."
Yeah.
And then we're watching like, yeah, my crazy friends never heard of the food chain. And we're just eating it up with like spoons with soup.
And then people go out and they just regurgitate the exact words. Like they have no other.
They don't know what they're saying.
They don't. Yeah, exactly.
They're just saying words.
Yeah. And I've been guilty of it. Sure.
Oh, me too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great.
But you know, as I've gotten on in years, I've become much more self-aware than I was.
Because the amount of times I've done that, and somebody goes, "Well, what do you mean?" And I don't know. Yeah, it stops you. Yeah. You can't do that a lot.
Yeah.
Anything beyond the actual.
Yeah. You just need one person who knows more than you to be like, you don't know what you're talking about, do you? And then you're like, no, I don't.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, and
You
like
got me.
Change the way you talk about
that's why
things.
this
Yeah, exactly.
podcast sort of helps me stay in my lane because I don't want to get outside of it because there's people know more than I do. So, but just spend a lot of time reading this shit.
Mhm.
But I don't like speaking on things that I don't know anything about. So for the most part,
Yeah, I can only go by what I see and hear. I also was thinking, I like to use analogies a lot, but you know how like they say, and I've never done this, maybe you have, they say if you go and you just live in the woods for maybe a month, just shut off electronics and just be one with the land, you go back into normal society and it's big culture shock. It's louder than you remember. It's things, you see things for what they are with a new perspective. And so I guess my point is it sounds like I'm talking shit, but I don't mean to be. I don't look at a lot of Facebook and that shit, And so when I do see it, because I want to look up somebody's hours, like a bar or something, but I'll see on my main news feed there, some friend of mine is like, don't you hate it when, and then they got some political opinion. And I'm like, are you really upset about this? And then it has like 23 comments. And I'm like, well, let's just see what this shit's about. And everybody's like, fuck you. No, fuck you. You don't know shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, guys.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think that they see it the way I see it because they're always in it. I guess that's my point.
Yeah. But if you were to ask them, they would say, oh, yeah, I totally agree with you. They would say they see it how you see it.
I feel like they act differently. People act differently when you talk to them face to face than
right.
they do even over the phone. That's why back in the day, if I ever had to deal with a company that was in town and I would call them and the lady on the line would be like, it should be like having a sass attitude. Click, I'd hang up. I would drive over there. I'm like, you want to have that attitude? I didn't say this, but I'm thinking like, do that shit to my face. And they never did.
Yeah.
They was like, hey, honey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen that thing on the internet? It's that video that there's like a fence, like an iron fence, and there are two dogs just fucking barking at each other. And it's like, this is like the internet, and then the fence kind of rolls to the side, and they're finally and then they both just, all right. And then as soon as the fence goes back, they're barking again. Like
I haven't seen it,
that
but yeah.
sums up the internet.
Yeah.
Yep. It's
I concur.
I miss the days of dial-up modems and emails and chat rooms.
Yeah, I don't think we're going in the right direction.
I feel like if I reigned supreme, that's immediately what would happen.
just AOL.
I like the speed.
Chat rooms, and that's if you behave.
I could do without the dial-up.
That's true.
Okay, the same speed.
Well, this
But
part
buddy,
of
I
you-
think
only email.
you'd solve a lot of problems by just getting rid of social media. It doesn't need to exist for any reason.
I agree.
It does a lot more harm than it does good. Mental harm, all of it.
Yeah, I think that's the point of it, though, right?
I guess.
I think that seems to be the point. Or I mean, I don't believe that there was any sort of, when the great experiment began, I don't think that they had good intentions to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think the whole point of it was to,
From the get-go, you're saying.
yeah, from the get-go. I think it was to take us and to put us right where we are now. I don't know. It just, data collection and pissing everybody off all the time. Because a lot of people live, through their phones. Everything they see, everything they read, everything they hear, and it's not reality. It is, but it isn't. In that, you're looking at a very small, percentage, a portion of what's going on in the real world. You step outside and everything's okay for the most part.
Yeah.
But, nonetheless, everybody gets in there and they get all torqued up.
They sure do.
And
there are provokers out there.
Yeah.
Yes, there are.
Provocateurs.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. So say, isn't it incredible, though, how fast phones have became? I remember back in the day, we had the flip phones. So much better. It was nice because you get in constant contact. Even texting sucked. T9. But now you're like, you can FaceTime people anytime, any point. Bleep, video. Twitter.
It's creepy.
Facebook. It is too much, I think.
Yeah.
Way too much. But it is incredible.
Sound like a bunch of old men.
I know. I've had the exact same thought at the exact same time.
Yeah, I know.
But
I
we're a
love it,
generation
though.
that we're the generation that has actually seen this.
Yeah, I'm sure this is infuriating to somebody who.
Come to fruition, though. We've seen it from the very beginning until where it is now. So we're really the only generation that's seen it like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, the change. I had to
the
explain to young Tucker at work the other day. I had to actually walk in and purchase look somebody in the eye with a porno DVD and say, "I will have that, please." They're never going to know what that's even like. The shame and embarrassment, and yet the excitement that's in you. Yeah. They have the whole world of pornography in their pocket. It's incredible.
Yeah, that's an op too, straight up.
Oh yeah. Have you seen
what
that does to people's brains?
It's not
porn
good.
addicts, like brain scans with heroin addicts' brain scans.
No.
It's
bad.
the constant stimulation. It's
Dopamine,
over the top. So
but way more. Yeah.
anytime you have anything's free and it's essentially just given to you, that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not the way it works in nature. It's just not the way it works. So
we think about how bad that is for your mind and the fact that it's free and heroin isn't.
Right. You're the product.
Yeah.
And that's definitely there's definitely something going on there. That it's just anything that's available, like that, it's going to be detrimental to you. So,
Yeah, well, saying that, though, who's your favorite porn star? Go real quick.
all right. There's no one particular.
Yeah. I know. Do you think, let's get into brass tacks here, Nathan. Epstein. Kill himself?
No.
No.
I don't even know if he was real.
You're going that deep. Wow. What do you mean by that? Like, do you have...
Have you seen
Like a theory?
there's a picture of him and Ghislaine Maxwell that someone took where it's like they each are missing a leg.
I haven't seen that. No.
It's just like bad computer graphics, bad Photoshop. I don't, and again, I don't know if that's true or not, but who's to say all that shit isn't just a distraction?
It's
And who's to say that
pretty
some of these
prevalent.
conspiracy theories are psyops, because where you have a certain amount of the population polarized on one end, that's like, I hate Donald Trump and vax me up, babies aren't humans, whatever their opinion is on whatever subject.
Yeah.
You got that school of thought. And then you have this other school of thought that is very conspiracy driven for the most part and truth driven. But what is truth? Nobody really knows. It's all subjective, but I feel like that in itself, I think that's why earlier I was saying that I feel like QAnon was a psyop, because that's taking that far left polarity on the far right, and pushing it way to this extreme, to where
Agreed.
perhaps people
Yep.
stormed the Capitol, and I put that in air quotes.
Yeah.
People were allowed to walk in there and wearing QAnon. Come on, that just all seems so fake to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we've used this term a couple of times now. PSYOP. For those uninitiated,
Oh yeah,
psychological operation, and these have been run on people since time immemorial, just to basically test the peasants and see what they will or will not do. So when we say PSYOP, that's what we're talking about. These are just operations run by probably in the current era intelligence agencies and stuff like that. So
Yeah, another term I don't like now is trust the science.
Yeah.
right.
It's Age of Aquarius bullshit.
They came around with the COVID and the pandemic.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about if you're into the ages or astrology or anything like that, what the age of Aquarius is all about is like humanitarianism and science, and like how science is becoming the new religion.
Yeah.
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 And I think that's funny too. Again, talking about polarity, how polarized people are about like, trust fucking science, asshole. Come on.
Right.
And then you've got polarized Christians. They're like, you're going to hell, and there's one way and there's a wrong way. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I feel like those people are the same. They're just the polar opposite of each other.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
People that are
Right.
completely like, no matter what, I'll trust the science because some fucking person with a degree said
Right.
it. I don't know. And I don't feel like questioning that makes you a stupid person. Sorry, I was gonna use a bad word. But yeah,
Yeah.
And I think both of those polarities exist, and it's like the only way to really, I don't know, the way I find to enjoy my life is just being in the middle and not being affected, and like just like picking and choosing what I'm going to believe
Right.
Right.
as truth, and like really just not signing on to every conspiracy theory that comes around.
Yeah.
However, I do find them incredibly interesting
Oh,
and
yeah.
fascinating.
And they're fun.
They are fun.
Very
they are
fun.
fun, but I think when it gets to a point like I think like someone like Alex Jones, I know people that believe everything that he says,
Right. And that.
and I think that is unhelpful to them in life. I think
Yeah.
it's an unhelpful way or destructive way to live your life, just consumed by negativity and an enemy. It's like I have to hate this person, like Hillary Clinton and the Davos group and
Yeah.
whatever. Oh, Klaus Schwab, all that shit. I don't think he's real either. That dude wears like he looks
His
like
costumes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Who's
fuck him.
Who's this guy?
Klaus Schwab.
And if he's real, fuck him.
World Economic Forum.
Yeah.
Going to Alex Jones though.
Huh?
I do love the character.
The
of Alex
character
Jones.
is hilarious.
He's killing it on that level.
You see the episode where he took a ninja sword and cut a drone,
Yeah. I did see that.
and he went when he did
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It could have been just as simple as not necessarily looking at him as the sort of controlled opposition, but like he could have just said, if I want to make $1 at doing this, which I'm saying that now, if I want to
Yeah.
make $1, then I'll just feed everybody horse shit and just crank it up, all the nonsense, and it could have just been that simple. I can't begrudge him for that.
No.
Because the people want to give you money and whatever that testosterone pills he sells and, all that shit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go for it. Capitalism, right? Right, guys?
Yeah, I'm into
Yeah.
it.
Did you see the one where he's talking to? I want to say it was Marco Rubio, but he's on the ground talking to a pile of dog
yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
He's screaming at
Yeah.
Marco Rubio, but it's a piece of dog shit. Like that is just stupidly funny, and I love it.
It's half of that shit is like sketch comedy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he knows that.
Yeah.
He just goes too far sometimes.
Yeah.
And his fans take it further.
I'm more concerned about the people that take him 100% at face value than I am him personally. But
Yeah.
he does have quite a bit of influence.
Oh yeah, definitely. But what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, there's, grains of truth in there, too.
There are. And I'm not saying that. Yeah.
That's why I just did that. Just randomly asked you. I'm sorry.
But I mean, I love the stuff that he does the most, that is the really unhinged stuff, like
Yeah,
Hillary
I honestly-
Clinton's eating babies and,
I've
Those
never
are
really
people-
watched him, but except for clips that Nathan sends me where he's totally being insane.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah, it's great. He does a great
The
job. at that.
entertainment value is
Yeah.
his primary And he's made a vast empire, a multi-million-dollar empire off of that. So maybe we need to crank our shit up too.
We should.
You just
know?
need to get more unhinged with it.
Yeah, sticking to like facts. That's a problem.
What are we talking about? Montauk Project?
Right.
Okay.
No, I'm not talking about the Montauk Project just yet with that.
Are you guys going to do a Halloween episode this year?
Sure.
Talk
I
about
guess-
ghosts.
I guess we should.
Spooky ghosts.
Yeah, that's coming up, right?
Oh, shit. It's already time again.
Didn't
isn't
your
it?
friend? He lived in a haunted house. Travis.
Oh, Travis Bentley. Yeah. Yeah. He did.
Should have him on
Well,
and tell his stories.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I remember some of those I heard were like,
Yeah, but some of the I'm not saying he's an asshole, but I don't know if I believe him. The silhouette of the shadow on the.
On the fireplace, or
He said he was on his computer, and then the reflection of the fireplace was in like the computer he was looking at. And he said a figure walked behind him. He's looking at his computer. He sees walk behind him, kneels down in front of the fireplace, and disappears. See,
Shadow people?
no, he said it was like an old farmer looking dude.
Apparition.
Ooh.
Somebody owes somebody a Coke. Yeah,
Did you experience any sort of poltergeist activity?
he did. Yeah. Oh yeah. He said like the remote would be missing, and then he would get mad and say, "All right, I'm sick of this. Give me the remote." And then he'd go walk back in the room, and the remote's on the coffee table. But again, nobody else around him. So who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
What about you?
No, that's the only reason I had to get Ty last year, because I've never had a ghostly encounter.
That El Death Studio, there were some
Yeah.
happenings there. I won't say it was hauntings, but
Yeah, I
he
lived it.
he lived there for a little bit, so he experienced more than me. But I only had one thing happen there that was odd, and I could tell you about it if you'd like me to.
That's all right.
Okay,
Go ahead.
I'll make it quick. He would he would record music downstairs. It's just his house, but the downstairs he transformed into a studio. So we're down there recording. He's recording stuff for me, and then we hear a car pull up. He has a gravel driveway. We hear we hear a car door, and then we can hear the front door open, and we hear some footsteps upstairs, and it was bleeding in to the recording, I guess. And so he's like, "We gotta stop." And I was like, "Who is that?" And he said, "I don't know. I wasn't expecting anybody." So we open up. There's a downstairs door that just goes to the driveway.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody there.
That happened to me several times.
Nobody there.
So you heard noise in the driveway.
Yep. We heard the front door open, and we heard footsteps upstairs. 20 seconds later, open that door, nothing there.
So what happened at this house? Do you know the history of the house or anything?
I don't know, but there's always a vibe, I felt like, in that house.
And where was this house located, roughly?
It's off Middlebrook, Knoxville.
Yeah. Like near Gallagher View.
So have you had any other ghostly happenings?
That's the only thing I've ever had.
That's it.
Real quick, in Knoxville, Tennessee, I went through the Lakeshore Hospital buildings before they tore them down, and I heard some shit in there one time. Went there with a guy from work, and we went into the basement, like where the boiler room was,
Yeah.
like some Nightmare on Elm Street shit.
Right.
And
Or groundskeeper Willie.
loud crashing noise happened while we were down there. And we also heard some stuff in one of the stairways, one of the buildings. Those buildings aren't there anymore. This was, this was the mental hospital. They had like day rooms, long hallways, and we were going up one of the stairways, and we heard something in there. There was nobody else in there as far as we knew.
Yeah.
But we did hear some crazy stuff going on in there. Kind of strange.
Yeah.
But that's been the only...
What time was this?
This was during the day.
It was date. Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I wonder if it was like
We went back at
raccoons in there or
night,
something.
but there was nothing happened at night. We went back at night, but there was nothing happened. I assumed because of movies and pop culture that the witching hour would be the time to go, but
Right.
it wasn't the case. We were there in 2-3 in the afternoon, and sort of set the scene for you. The boiler room, there was a lot of water in the floor, so we were kind of stepping through, and obviously no power, and paint peeling off the walls. Again, all those buildings have been torn down. Not too long after we were there, so.
Remember, we went there one night, and I couldn't handle it.
I tried to get you to go that time.
I pussed out big time and left.
I forgot all about that.
Couldn't handle it. It was terrifying.
Dude, I forgot all about that. Yeah.
I hated that.
That was after I think we had gone already, and I told you that some shit had happened already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was scared.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
I think it was the gymnasium.
Yeah, that's where we entered. Was the gymnasium.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's all coming back to me now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like actual scary stuff. I like Snick at Night.
Does that exist anymore?
No.
Are you afraid of the dark?
Yeah.
That was good stuff.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you watch horror movies?
There was a period of time where I watched all of them, but I haven't watched one in a while.
Yeah. I hate them.
Oh yeah. Too scary?
Yeah, they stick with me. It's only slasher films all day long. I can do it, no problem.
I don't like those.
But if it's like a ghost, Babadook, I watched the trailer for that. It looks like if it's anything watching you while you're sleeping, or just you turn around, it's just standing there in the doorway. Fuck off! I hate that shit. I can't do it.
Yeah,
but I can handle Mike Myers all day because I feel like I have a chance. I feel like I could fight back. Not that I would win, but
or run.
Well, no, I ain't no bitch. Yeah. But, yeah. With the ghost, alien abductions, full circle, those movies scare me too. While you're sleeping. Come on. Ain't got no sense of decency? I don't like it. Other than that, though, I'm good to go.
Have you ever had sleep paralysis?
I have, one time.
I had it once, and I kicked out of it.
I did the finger trip where you're moving your fingers, because I I watched a video or something on that shit, and I was like, just move your fingers, and you can move your hand, and then you can move your arm. It worked, but I was absolutely terrified.
Yeah.
I was completely awake, but had paralysis, but it has happened once, yes.
Mm-hmm. That's not fun.
But you do have the feeling that somebody's kind of watching you.
Yeah, you do.
And they're just, you're just about to be pounced on, kind of a deal, And they're going to have their way with you.
It's terrifying. Sleep paralysis. Ugh.
Yeah. You ever had it?
No.
Me either.
I don't want to.
Well, remember that little trick. Start moving your fingertips, because that's the only way out of it, baby.
Yikes. Sinbad said he did astral projection.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
The comedian?
Yeah.
Where is he now?
In the astral realm.
He's here.
What do you say about it?
He just talked about how he trained himself to do it little bits at a time. I forget who he was talking to, but whoever was interviewing him was like, no, you I just couldn't believe it. And he's like, no, yeah, he was just dead serious. And I mean, what he said sounded like he was doing it. I don't know if he really did, obviously, but it sounded like he wasn't like telling some exaggerated, crazy story.
Yeah, just a realistic tale.
Yeah.
Huh.
I did not know that.
There's weird, wild stuff.
Speaking of impressions,
Mm-hmm.
you used to do a great impression.
Oh, yeah? Which one?
Urkel.
It was never good.
Would you be willing to do it?
Well, hey, big guy.
Okay, that's good enough for me. That was great. Yeah.
I used to do a Rush Limbaugh, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
It would go, mostly it would just go, but there was, I would do, somebody calls in,
Yeah.
and they're like, hey, I wanted to talk about what you said about how, teachers are overpaid. Have you actually looked at the statistics? And he'll like interrupt them. Yeah, now you're saying this, but tell me this. In 1913, when the president signed the deal for blah blah blah, and he just says something totally unrelated.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Can you tell me about that? What do you think about that?" And the guy's like, "Well, I mean, I don't know." And then click, he hangs up on him. He goes, "Folks, he doesn't know."
good for him. Well,
Yeah.
that's all I got. I was trying to think of something else to say.
good way to
about
shut it down.
Yeah, well, all right.
All right.
All right, then. Did we touch on everything you wanted to touch on? You guys?
Oh, you got the bullet points there.
I mean, we got it. I mean, we nailed it. I think we nailed it.
I think so too.
Yeah. Buddy, I think that's a wrap.
Jack agrees.
Yep. Yeah, he needs to go out again, I guess.
I think so.
Full circle. I guess we'll thank you guys first. Jeff, Nathan, thank you very much.
Thank you.
For your
Thanks, guys.
time.
Had a blast.
Yeah. Thanks for
Wasn't
having
talking
us.
to you, Jack.
Yeah. And that's it for this episode of the Terribly Vexed Podcast. As usual, always go to iTunes, rate, review, subscribe, all that. And we'll get back on the... Did you hear about our contest that we had? We have contests. If you rate, review, subscribe, leave a comment, and then send us a message so we know how to get in touch with you. We'll send you a sweet gift.
Ooh.
Like Fally McSnaps in Chattanooga won The Lost Diary of Admiral Richard E. Byrd. It's the accounting of his true voyage into the Hollow Earth at the North Pole. So,
It's bullshit.
well, I have to read the book. You didn't.
Spoilers.
Yeah. All right.
He did win it, though.
You did.
Congratulations, by the way.
Yep.
We didn't say that, which I
Yep.
think we did.
Yep. We got a couple more comments. We'll see what we got on that. And we'll
See you next time.
yep.